What's up, party people? What was the best or worst Comic Con experience I've ever had? Someone just asked that question. Hey guys, this is Turkish Jude Mossberg here from Facebook, Jude's Junk, Facebook comic book shop, YouTube channel, whatnot now, website. I'm doing all the socials. I'll probably get into some of this live video stuff eventually. But I haven't been to a good Comic Con for years. So probably back in the 90s would be my best one. Um, and I'm trying to remember if James O'Barr and Todd McFarlane were at the same little comic book shop. Uh, they would show up to these comic book shops. It wasn't a convention, a shop. And they'd have these sign events. And they would sign for free. And the comic shop would pay them. They would show up, sign comic books for free. And then hopefully you'd buy some books. So the comic book shop maybe paid them a little bit of money. And maybe the artist did it just to get their name out there and sell some of their books or whatnot. So um, signatures were free. Atomic Comics 1995, I got Todd McFarlane to sign ASM 298. Back then, the COA was Todd's signature on the back, which is cool. So I have an ASM 298 that I graded in this last 5 years, and then JS8'd it, and it's a 9.8. And I also got a whole bunch of other signatures, so like 5 or 6 signatures, and Todd's on there, and it's a 9.8, and it has the original certificate COA with Todd's signature on it, which is cool, and it says 95. So Atomic Comics was a popular comic book shop in Phoenix that has since gone out of business like so many others. So back in the day, and he did sign it on the front. I know a lot of people, maybe in the early 90s, late 80s, were signing it on the inside, but he signed it on the front, and I like that now. Back then, they signed it on the inside, but we like the signature. And it was the old Todd, the T period McFarlane with the little, like, not fat Sharpie, but the little skinny, uh, I think it was a gold pen back then. I don't remember much about it. I just remember that's what I remember about comic shops. It was free to get a signature. You know, I don't even know if I stood in line. It was so easy. It was a local thing. People weren't coming from all over the country back then. Todd was already on to Spawn, and so he was already popular. But truth is, I don't know if I got him to sign anything else. And I might have gone there. See, back then, I didn't know I was supposed to bring books to get things signed. I think I showed up, heard about it, didn't bring any comic books, and I bought something that was there. And so maybe ASM 298 was either on the shelf. No, that would have been 8 years past when it came out. Somehow I got it to 298. I think I might have bought it there. I also remember buying some Spawn copy, and I was really excited to have, what was that Simmons guy, his buddy that came and signed. I was really happy to have him sign Al Simmons. They had a falling out legally, and now all those are worth nothing. But so anyways, I think it was the same convention. I can't remember. That was 95, so literally 33 years ago. That was my best experience at a Comic-Con. Went to some in the last few years, and nobody was signing that was worth anything that I wanted to get signed. And I bought some comics that were overpriced from the 3 booths that had comics. This was in Boise, which isn't a very big Comic-Con, but it's close to me. Tried to go to the Comic-Con in Portland, but they kicked me out because I didn't wear a mask or didn't have a mask, I think. That was during COVID. Anyways, so I'm kind of doing the best and worst already. The worst was going to my local con and just being bored out of my mind. You stand in line because some local girl cosplays, Miss Idaho, or like some fake, fanciful Miss Idaho, like Miss Marvel. She makes up her own character, does cosplay for herself, and then signs things. And people ask her to show up at these conferences, and you're like, this isn't even a real character. You're just dressed up in a Halloween costume, signing your own stuff, whatever. So I haven't gone back to the Boise one. Some people ask me to show up and sell some books, but I don't think it'd be worth it. I do everything online. I don't really pay to go do a booth, and I don't think the people at the con would be the people buying my graded books. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was nobody there selling graded books. They're all selling raw books, so maybe graded books would go over. Anyway, short video. Didn't go to a lot of cons in my lifetime. Wished I would have gone to a bunch of San Diego Comic Cons years ago. Actually, I said this in the last video. My sister went to a bunch in the aughts, 2000, 2010, and I just never went, even though I lived in San Diego. I would have enjoyed gone to that. Now I hear it's much more about the movies, much more about cosplay, and I might have the same issue with it. I think I have had a presser go to some of the big cons for me, like in Dallas and MegaCon, and he bought me a bunch of books and had them pressed and graded and signed, and so I did that from afar. But I see people having fun and meeting their friends. And I think that's cool to watch their YouTube videos and see them interview people and talk to people and meeting friends. That wouldn't be my experience if I went, because I don't know people there. Could I make new friends? Yeah, but I'm 56. Do I really want to hang out? And how I collect and what I buy it might be totally different than what most people are. So I just don't know if I'd have a lot of fun going to a big thing like MegaCon. If I could go with my son, he's 8, and I'm 56, so he would probably get a kick out of all this stuff, the costumes and whatnot. So anyways, best and worst con experiences. Happy hunting, guys.